Hello, this is Brian again. I know I seem to end off the spotlight on Adolphia californica where I did. Well, this is going to be a part 2 addendum to the spotlight video. Well, I was mentioning that these shrubs grow mostly in exposed coastal sage scrub and dry areas, and that's mostly true. However, I have noticed on the hike back there were a couple of them growing in the understory of these coast live oaks. Interestingly, not a lot of them, just a couple of them. And I found some more specimens along here on the side of the trail that have flowers on them. So we're going to make this a part 2 of our spotlight on shrubs on the California Adolphia, California Spine Shrub, Adolphia californica. So now that we're a little bit closer to a water source, these plants have more leaves on them. And you can see here, there are these little, most of them are small green, oppositely arranged. And the ones that are in the shadier areas tend to be leggier, taller, a little bit taller, leggier, with larger leaves, believe it or not. Oval shape and a little bit larger. But here, as you can see here, these are the greenish white flowers. Very small, like I said, very inconspicuous. You have to look very closely. They appear to have 5 petals on them. Very small. I've never seen them in bloom until today. But you can see here, those are the flowers of Adolphia californica. So I had to make a part 2 spotlight on this shrub. Here's another colony of it right here. So to add to what I've discussed before, they have those whitish flowers, and then again, these are the seed capsule cups after the seed capsule split open. So this is a developing seed capsule right here in the middle. As you can see, it's 3 chambered. Look carefully, you'll see the 3 chambers on it. So there's more of this plant here than I remembered. These ones are a little bit taller, but of course it's a little bit up, a little bit raised up. But I've yet to see one that's taller than me. And I'm about 5'7.5" ish, roughly, between 5'7" and 5'8". But so if you look at the flowers up close, they're pretty neat looking. They kind of look star-shaped. And if you find one of these when you find one of these uncommonly in the shade of these oaks, then the leaves are going to be a little bit larger, a little bit longer, and they're still going to be oppositely arranged, and the twigs are going to be a lot softer. See, these ones are very rigid, hard, and sharp-tipped. But they're a little bit softer when you're growing in the shade. A lot of plants tend to do that. It's part of the polymorphism of a lot of plants. Plants that grow in shade tend to be less woody and also larger leaved. The larger leaf area allows more space for it to capture the sun for photosynthesis. But out here, the leaves are small because this is a dry upland area above the creek. But here's a nice large thicket of Adolphia californica. So if you're hiking here in Penasquitos Canyon, keep an eye out for this plant. See, where I came from was from that direction at Canyonside Community Park. I parked in there and I started heading on the trail away from the park. And that's where it took me maybe about a half to 3/4 of a mile of walking. Maybe, yeah, about that roughly, before I start seeing them. But yes, beautiful, beautiful plant. And again, like I said on the first video, very, very rare, very narrow endemic species. Again, it is Adolphia californica. I just had to make an addendum clip. So hopefully at the end of the first video, hopefully I'll put a part 2. I'll put the link to this part in the part 1 video. So in part 1, if you're watching part 1, you'll see this come up in the upper right corner of the screen. So you know that there is a part 2, because I didn't expect to be recording a part 2, because I didn't expect to see any more of it on the way back, especially it in bloom. So it's Adolphia californica, and again, this was part 2 of a special episode of Spotlight on Shrubs, because it is a very rare plant and something well worth going out of your way to see. But living in San Diego, you don't have to go that far out of your way, especially if you have quick access to the Rancho Penasquitos area. So come check it out. Adolphia californica, Rhamnaceae. Thanks for watching my Spotlight part 2. Thanks for watching my Spotlight mini set on California Spine Shrub. I will see you on the next episode of Spotlight.